about that.
Hey guys, welcome to the Gamers Corner. Justin had mentioned something. We've never done an introductory of who we are, our names. So this is Mark Farnsworth, Justin Trummel, and I'm Dima Mozilevsky.
Close enough.
Huh?
Close it up.
What? Trammel?
Trammel.
Like, I always think it's like
Like the
Trummel,
deep run
drummel.
tram.
Trammel.
You guys
Two
know each
M's,
other
two L's.
How long have you known each other?
We
decade,
just
probably.
met. So. Anyways, welcome to the Gamers Corner. Here is our intro. Kind of left it on a high note.
There's our intro. However that little song goes that plays.
It's a nice song. It's a good song. So today we're talking about The Witcher.
Witcher.
And everything about The Witcher.
By order of the Emperor of Nilfgaard, for the murder of the wounded, looting, cannibalism, you are hereby sentenced to death by hanging or torment.
Don't meddle. Take the reward and let's go.
Help me!
Knew you witches wouldn't scorn imperial gold. Tough hunt.
Tougher than yours, that's certain. Evil is evil. Lesser, greater, middling, makes no difference. Can't fit me!
Bring her down. Do it my way. You like that, you bitch? Get the hammer. Kick her teeth in.
The degree is arbitrary, the definition's blurred. If I'm to choose between one evil and another, I'd rather not choose at all. Just make it quick, Geralt.
What the?
Close your eyes.
Hit him. What are you doing?
Killing monsters.
Mark, did you actually finish the first Witcher game?
Mm-hmm.
What's the story arc in that? Because I barely got into a couple hours, probably.
The story is like, yeah, you wake up in a town and you have no idea what's going on, and there's like this beast that you have to hunt down. The townspeople are like, oh, we're all cursed and everything, so you find this hellhound and you kill it. Then they find out, oh, hey, you have to go talk to these other people in this other town, and you end up like basically traveling across Temeria into these different towns basically, and you have to solve their problems. But then you find out that the kingdom is at civil war, and you have to try and figure out, I guess, through your choices, like what kind of person you are, because it's like there's not really good or bad choices. It's just things that all affect the outcome, as we all know with The Witcher. But so then you end up trying to recover your memory, but then it's really just you find out that the Salamandra sorcerers and whatnot, they're creating these mutant beasts that you have to kill, and there really wasn't like a story to it, honestly. Like by the time you got done with it, it didn't feel like a story to me.
Well, I think it was all about the Salamander because they referenced it again in The Witcher 3 with the red what are they called? The fire, eternal fire knights or whatever they are.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same thing. What happens is Kaer Morhen he gets attacked in the kind of the very beginning, and by a super mage, it seems like, and like
I do remember that fight. It's like the very beginning of the game, yeah.
Very, very beginning. And so that's who you're trying to find, and he's part of the Salamandra, so that's what it is.
I remember that now.
Yeah, and I do. And now that we're talking about it, I mean, 6 years ago.
At
But
least.
and I haven't replayed it since. I beat it the one time through on normal, and then I went through on hard because they didn't have Dark and Insane and Nightmare and all that.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's more the stories. The game, I felt like the first one is more about making you feel it. It's not so much what's going on. It's like, oh, there's the Scoia'tael, there's dwarves, there's this, that, the other, and it's all about how people are treated really badly because there's like blatant racism running rampant.
That's kind of the whole like theme of all three of them.
Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah.
it is. So,
The side quests are where we get a lot of the story, just the backstory of the world, what's going on and stuff.
Yeah. These side quests in all three of them. Well, I'm going to say two because I'm not really sure about the first one, but definitely second one and the third one. Those side quests are amazing. Like
They really. That's what I'm saying. Like the main quest in The Witcher, if you just run right through that, it's really only like 10 hours,
yeah.
maybe. And it's all the little side quests you pick up here and there that help enrich the story.
Yeah, I really like the choice based too because your side quests, like the choices you make in your side quests, can affect you later on.
Yep.
Or it doesn't necessarily affect you, but it changes the outcome.
It changes
you
the
know?
world.
Yeah, it
and
changes the world.
If you go visit a part of the world that has been changed, then it'll affect you. Like,
Yeah.
there's like this monster creature that's like sympathetic and wants you to release it, but it's also a monster. So you're like, I don't know, should I? Seems like a pretty cool guy. And if you do, he can like go destroy a village later. Like, but
Right.
there's no good choice.
Which village is it?
I don't know. I haven't actually. I don't even remember all the village names, but
Right,
Is
that's
it the
where
one
I'm
with the orphan kids? Does he destroy that village?
that'd be rough if he did. I don't know.
Well, I was going to say if he did, then it's not really a loss because nobody's there anymore.
No, yeah.
There's no orphans, there's no lady, there's nothing. So if he just destroyed that village, it'd be like, that's cool,
They're just orphans.
No, I think
Don't-
there's
don't worry
dead
about the
people
human
involved, and wherever it goes. But yeah,
Like the Red Baron, one of my favorite quest lines. Holy cow, the Red Baron. You can completely ignore that whole thing. I don't think
you
it's
have to
part
do
of
the very beginning because
Yeah,
he helps you,
yeah.
like move the story, try to find
right,
Ciri,
Siri.
and keep track of all the women
Cyrilia?
he's chasing
What is it?
after.
What's
I know,
her full
right?
name?
Cyrilla.
Cyrilla.
Just
Yeah, and I'm not
wrath.
sure. I think it moves into a secondary. You can go and help him
Yeah,
find his wife, and
Yep.
actually
that
that's
ties
what
in
it
with
is.
the
So you go
orphans,
to the
I think.
wife, and then the baby, and then all that
Yeah,
stuff.
that thing was hideous.
Monster baby, but
Who had that baby?
that was the Red Baron,
The Red Baron.
the Bloody
And his
Baron.
wife,
Sorry,
yeah.
the Bloody Baron. His wife had the baby, but it was
Taco Pizza.
demon baby or something like
It
that.
was
It was
like an aborted
oh yeah, that's right.
fetus
She
that
had,
came back
yeah.
as a spirit,
Ooh.
yeah,
and it looks
Claws
like
and-
it.
yeah.
It definitely looks like
I,
it got the
I
run
haven't,
on that one.
and you can either do it the peaceful way, which is go back and set it to rest and have the Bloody Baron
You do like a
mourn for
funeral
it,
kind of thing.
or you could just kill it or something.
Yeah, and there's a couple different ways the final bit of the quest can turn out, I think, because he killed himself in mine.
Who did the Baron?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, he hung himself.
Whoa!
I go back and he's like swinging from a tree. I was like, what? I thought I did everything correctly.
Whoa! No, that didn't happen to me.
Yeah,
he
Oh,
decided-
that's heavy, man.
That is pretty heavy.
Maybe he didn't. I just didn't
Yeah,
notice.
you gotta go back. Still
Holy
swinging. No, because I think you
Still
can save
swinging.
him. I think because
He was in the garden last time I saw him, just like being,
Just-
like
tying up his noose,
yeah, making a noose out of
a hemp or
flowers.
something.
wreathing it with.
Oh, I should have
White
seen the
myrtle
signs.
There's lots of multiple choices through that whole quest because I think you can do different things with his wife.
Oh,
And
Oh, she's old. No, not those kind of things.
I was like, well,
she's
it's
that
The
old.
Witcher, so honestly,
he's old too.
Yeah,
Well, he's got gray hair. He's not. He's probably not old, but and Witcher's last.
He's in
lived
his
a long time.
30s. It's back in the day.
Actually, we should get into Witcher. What a Witcher is in this lore. It's actually
Right.
tied into Polish folklore, like not real, but their
Well,
lore.
yeah.
like our
The lore is real.
Our fairy tales, but so Witchers are monster hunters, and they're like taken as children, and they're trained rigorously and like given potions and they mutate them
alchemy
basically.
and whatnot to
And like so, like
3 out of 10 survive the mutation process.
yeah,
That's
it's really rough. And they're like, I can't remember if they steal children or they take bad kids or
I think some of them is
it's probably both. But
I think both. There's some schools that steal, and then some schools make deals like, we don't have the gold to pay you. What would you like in return? I want your firstborn son, and that's who gets sent over.
and then so once they're fully trained, Witchers are supposed to be completely non-political, non-biased. Geralt himself always gets dragged into all this political stuff in all the games and all the books and
well, because it wouldn't be as interesting if you didn't have to.
he's like, I don't care, just watch it. Which he does try to say a lot, but just the plot, he keeps getting involved by different people.
Poor guy.
But
about
so
getting
yeah,
his
they're like
wet.
super fighters. They have like super regeneration. They're hardier than humans. But they also make these potions. The whole schools of Witchers, and they know how to do it. But if a normal person drinks it, it like kills them. It's like super strong, powerful stuff.
That's
toxicity
why,
level
and it
of it.
really, I love that because it gives you an explanation for, like, how you're you're playing games, you take a potion and you're healthy again. Oh yeah, it's like
Like, why
that's
don't the
not how
bad guys
real
pick
life
up all these
works.
potions
Yeah.
too?
But with The
Like,
Witcher,
they're-
it is how it works. It's exactly how it works because
But they're also
mutation-
really harsh on him. Like he has to
Yeah.
sit down, he meditates, he usually drinks the potion before the fight.
Right.
Witcher 3, they kind of cut back on that a little bit. You can pop potions more.
Yeah.
Yeah, say
But
Put
it
him
also,
down, man.
But it also has a toxicity in his
Right.
system. So if you drink too many, then you get all veiny and
You
gross.
start losing life.
Yeah, it
eventually,
kills you.
essentially.
Yeah,
It will.
so they are also bad for his system, but
Yeah, he can just metabolize it better.
right.
And I don't think they actually sleep. He just meditates.
Yeah, they don't.
I have a bed.
Well, he sleeps around.
Yeah, so he's not the same. We're not talking love here. We're talking sex.
But I don't think they need sleep as a recuperative thing. At least this is what it seems like. But,
Yeah, just the meditation part. I've meditated for 3 days in a row.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
while you're
like,
farming cow.
'cause I like in all these games they do really cool cutscenes, like usually like trailers or in the opening scene. Well, he'll go and it's just one of his monster contracts, not like part of the story or anything.
Right.
And he'll go to a place and he does all the research, he finds out where the monster's going to be, and then he'll like just sit where it's going to be and meditate for like 6 hours till it shows up.
Yeah.
Like some monsters come out at night, some only a full moon or whatever. But the CG trailers are really cool.
They did. CD Projekt Red has like put out cinema quality. They're not really like cutscenes or anything. They're just like their own little thing, and they're amazing. They're really well done, and you could find them on YouTube. Just you could look up anything like Witcher.
Witcher
cutscene or
cinematic.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really well done. Holy cow! Especially the Witcher 3 ones, and they're like 7-10 minutes.
They're long, yeah, because it's the whole setup and
Yeah, they're really well done, and I think one of them is he fights a mud, what are those saggy booby
hag.
hag? Yeah, he fights a mud hag in one of them, and it is man, he's got flapjacks going everywhere.
I forgot. I should have brought I have a big. The Witcher 3 came with like a big art book, and it's like a giant double-page picture of that
spread.
flappy princess.
Centerfold. The Witcher
Excellent,
centerfold.
excellent. That would be so great if they came with that.
Oh, Lord.
Speaking of which, Witcher it's a very mature story. It has a lot of sex, nudity.
Oh, yeah,
The Witcher, Geralt gets around quite a bit. In the first
He
game,
can.
the first game, like it's a collectible card game. The more people you sleep with, you get their little card for some reason.
Yeah, it's like your
look
trophy.
at it.
Instead of knocked on
it
your
is,
bedpost, you
that's
get the
right.
card for
I
banging
remember
on
that now. That's right. Yeah, and they came out with the uncensored version a little while later for the U.S. That was their original release, anyways. But for the U.S., they had to censor it. But then they're like, screw it. Here's the original stuff. So the cards you get, were all like uncensored, and
Yeah.
I don't know what they're for.
Full frontal
honestly.
female
Yeah.
nudity. And
But it is funny how that was like the point of like, all right, well, you earned another card. Here you go, buddy.
Oh, they're also immune to disease.
Yeah.
And
So
and
he
they're
doesn't-
sterile.
Infertile, yeah, sterile. So so they don't have to worry about getting
So CD
the hurt or
Projekt Red
whatever.
is condoning lots of unprotected sex with strangers.
Yeah,
Well, if you're
only
a
if you
Witcher.
mutilate
If you're
your
a
body
Witcher.
and you don't have
If
to
you're
worry
a
about
Witcher,
anything.
yes, yeah.
If you're a Witcher, yeah. I hate
that.
Geralt's romantic, like, any of that stuff, because he... Oh, it's so cringy for me, because he's just like, so, what do you think we should do? Like, oh,
Yeah,
what,
he's
you
got no-
12, man? Come on!
He's
like,
got no game.
Yeah, it's just like, it's really lame to hear him say that. And I'm just like, all right, I try to avoid all that stuff as much as possible. I completed the game with me and Yennefer running off.
Is this 3?
Yeah, on the third one. Me and Yennefer running off and just quitting the whole thing, and just we live out in the cabin in the woods somewhere for the rest of our life, having a boring life or whatever. And I'm like, all right, I'm okay with that. Next playthrough, I'll probably just reject every single one of them, because it just seems like they're all crazy. They really did they programmed in both sides, men and women, craziness into it. I love how they did that. All the women are crazy and all the men are crazy, and
It's two separate.
See, I was romancing both Triss and Yennefer, and it doesn't end well.
big mistake.
So you do have to choose.
There are
'Cause
fireballs
I kind of
and-
lollygagged, and then by the end, I didn't get either, I don't think. And he went out lonely into a cabin.
Stabbed himself.
Well, the
Silver
end, yeah.
sword.
I don't really want to spoil the ending, but yeah, it's good. I got one of the worst endings, which is very disappointing. I should go back and play through it again, but
The DLC, Hearts of Stone, was amazing.
about halfway through, I would say,
And
if not 2/3, probably.
I'm not gonna say amazing. The story was really deep. I thought it was very it was actually touching when you go through the story and play it, and they the story of what's his name, Vaughn F or something.
See the guy that's like the genie kind of guy or whatever he is. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's him, but it's the guy with the beard and the big scar on the side of his head, the Von Emmerich.
Oh, that guy. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
uh-huh.
So not the.
Yeah, it's really his story. It's about him, and it's they did a really good job with that DLC and that new character. Really, I thought he was really cool. He actually kind of reminds me of Kevin Briggs, just like his facial structure, and like if he had a beard, I'm like, oh, that's kind of Kevin Briggs-ish. I should just
Do a mashup of the two of them
I
side
should
by
just send him a
side.
photo and be like, this is your new look, dude. You need to go for this. All right, here it
You get
is.
A life-altering
You know,
scar.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't need the scar. Just the haircut and the beard. I think would do. Because he's redhead, right?
No, he's
Just like
he's blonde,
strawberry
right?
blonde.
He's
yeah.
pale and friendly.
Oh, is he? Oh.
Yeah, so that's
But that
that's
still
a
worked.
feature.
It would
That's
still
a
work for
injury
him.
of
it's in there somewhere.
Yeah. But the story,
that mustache though.
I don't know. Do you want me to tell you?
Not
a
the
little
ending.
bit? I'm not going to tell you.
pretty
the
far
ending,
in. Like I went through the whole like.
But about the
the
guy
wedding
who
party
who
and-
you have a contract with.
No,
Not
because
Von
I'm gonna finish it, but
Okay.
I'm enjoying where it's going.
Yeah, it's really
very
deep.
cool.
It's really good. I love it.
He's very mysterious from the beginning, anyways.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, just careful what you wish for. That's like kind of the point. And they really drive it home, and they do a really good job with it too. Like an excellent job.
I think the first book is called The Last Wish, or no, maybe not the first book, but one of the Witcher books is called The Last Wish. So
Yeah.
I remember reading one book. Cirilla is in it as a child. Like this whole like prophecy. That's where this whole prophecy kind of starts, and that's part of the third plot line when she's all grown up. Kind of, she's still really young, but like.
Can you
20s.
romance Siri?
No, you're more of a father figure.
You can't romance her at all because there's some times
I'm
where
surprised
it
they
comes
wouldn't put
up.
that in there.
It comes up like a little bit. Like
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's some weird way, but I don't think so because he really is her father.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, not
Like
birth father, obviously, but yeah, I don't think that would be
I
in
think
his
it's weird.
character. Yeah.
how long do Witchers live?
I'm sure
Does
they
it
usually
extend their
die,
lifetime?
like because they fight monsters. I think they do have extended lifetime though,
Yeah.
but they have such a harsh lifestyle.
Yeah, that's like something they touch on in the first game. Is like, you know, one of his friends is like, "Oh, like you don't look any different than you did this time ago," and he's like, "Well, yeah." So it's basically like what kills them is usually monsters that are better than them.
And he's already all scarred up and everything.
Yeah.
But there's the older, his trainer from Kaer Morhen is in the third
Vesemir.
game. Vesemir, yep. And he's older, but he's not. Well, it doesn't really touch on their age. So.
How can you tell?
He
I mean,
looks older, but I mean, he looks like
He
he's
could be like
60 or something.
300,
But I remember
right.
him looking the same in the first one, you know. So maybe, maybe it quadruples.
I'm
their
sure it's
lifespan.
written down somewhere.
But then they also talk about like, oh, you remember back in the 1100s or something? Like,
yeah,
remember?
that's what I'm saying. Like,
It's like, wasn't that 800 years ago? Or I don't know.
at least 300 years ago from
Yeah.
the second one.
The when does the story take place? What year does it take place? Does it say?
I was just reading the
I'm gonna
introduction.
just Google that real quick.
This
Well,
doesn't
you-
say it, but
So I'm on the newest expansion, which is Blood and Wine, right?
yes,
Blood and Wine, yeah.
Blood and Wine.
Yeah.
And the expansion opens up a whole new area.
It's kind of like is it a different continent or just like a different part of the world?
It's a different part of the world. Now you're in the same continent area, but you just kind of travel south, and it's a lot more tropical. It's more akin to Italy. How Italy is kind of more tropical. It's hot. You know, you have grapes and grapevines kind of growing
Blood
there.
and Wine. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I do.
it's that whole place is like a winery essentially. You get there and it's they do such a good job of like showing you this really neat, like, wow, this is a great place to live. I love it. And then the facade starts to come down and you start to see everything underlying, and just such a great job doing that. Just the story itself, the whole introduction sequence is really cool. You get in there and there's a giant wearing like a big old a bucket. It's not a bucket, it's a barrel, like a wine barrel as a helmet or something. And he's blind, he doesn't see anything, but he's just like, it was so well done. It was awesome. But you got a whole bunch of these pompous knights who are like, we battle everything, and they're so jaded by everything that they're just like, they have, just like in Rome, you know, they got jaded by life, so they have, you know, essentially fight to the death arenas,
kind of
coliseums, you know, and that's what they're having there is a coliseum where they fight monsters, and that's what they thrive on now because, you know, all they do is get drunk and party, you know, and like whereas, you know, you go back to Novigrad and people are like suffering.
Well, yeah, they're in the middle of the war, so
yeah.
I
You
think
know,
been
it's
a really
completely
long war,
different.
too.
Just a completely different lifestyle, and you're like, whoa, man. I mean, just like now, same here in America.
go
We have
somewhere,
MMA,
yeah.
just the same, you know.
It reminds me of in Dragon Age, the Orlais. They're kind of like the Frenchy, weird,
Right,
like
yeah.
pompous. They're all like poofy
Yeah.
shoulders and everything.
Yeah. They're like that.
Weird
except,
accents.
Except a little bit different, a little more extreme, I'd
yeah.
say. They know what they're doing, you know, like the knights actually are knights and they are very skilled, you know, but
Yeah,
they
Orlais is
still-
more like Victorian England, where it's just all like big dresses and balls
Right,
and that
right,
kind of
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
but they're like well educated too. Every one of the knights are well educated. They have really amazing critical thinking. Some of them, when you get into there, you're like, why is this guy fighting? Oh, okay. You figure out why some of them aren't, but really well done so far. You get a mansion, or not a mansion, but I mean it's a house.
Upgradable house kind of thing.
Upgradable house. I've upgraded it all the way. It looks nice. Looks beautiful. I have yet to fill. I have one painting up. There's like millions of spots for paintings. All of them are like these dusty squares. You know, that's the only thing. And you have all these armor racks everywhere that are empty.
yeah.
You know, and my sword rack's all empty. I have one that has a sword and a wooden sword. And that's it. I'm like, why would I put any of my gear here? I go to the store and sell all my crap. You know, so
Yeah, it's essentially how that works.
yeah.
Whenever games give you the option to stash stuff, it's like, oh, here's your toolbox for stashing all of your things you find. I don't keep any of that crap. I sell
I
it.
keep everything. I like armor stands because it gives you a way to display armor, which is kind of neat. But
Yeah, I don't know why I would display it though. If I'm not using, I mean, I guess
there.
cheap armor. Yeah, there's
Cool
like
looking
really
armor.
cool looking armor that
Yeah.
I really like that don't do jack for damage reduction. I'm like,
and
I
also,
like it,
actually,
yeah.
in The Witcher 3, the crafting system, you need a lot of the old armor sets to upgrade to the
Yeah.
full. And
good to know.
I had sold off a bunch of stuff, and I had to go like find the vendors and like buy the base set so that I could upgrade it. And I was like, because there's like an achievement tied to getting all the Witcher gears and all that crazy.
Yeah,
stuff.
right now I'm using the feline gear.
Is that the
and
fastest one?
it's the light armor.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's fast.
Well, I think there's
but
only 3. I think the new expansion
there's 5.
added another more, but yeah, there was like heavy, medium, and light. I think
yeah,
originally.
Yeah, just the 3 types. Yeah. I don't know if there's anything beyond that. They did add another kind, but I forgot the name.
Yeah.
I barely touched on it, but it was for having all the armor sets, and then upgrading the Grandmaster level, you get additional bonuses, kind of like in Diablo 2. You have all the set, and you get the set bonuses, so it's kind of cool. And right now, you can in Hearts of Stone, you go to a enchanter. I don't know what he's called. He's some weird guy that will upgrade your armor differently, I guess.
Oh,
Instead
yeah,
of putting
yeah.
in stones, he does something else with it. And I have one of my armor right now that I'm wearing is it completely just deflects arrows. You know,
Oh.
and I'm like, oh, that is so good. That's perfect.
Yeah.
You know, because and I think that was the most useful of the things, because arrows just piss me off. They come out of nowhere.
You're just
You know.
blocking your sword.
If you have the perk, and that
Yeah,
to me
yeah.
is a waste of a slot. You know, it's like, oh, why would I want to waste a slot if I want to block it? Ugh. You know, and I barely
I got it, but
I barely defend. I barely block. You know, I usually dodge.
so I looked it up. Geralt is around 100 at this point, and
Okay.
Vesemir is a couple of 100 years old. So they definitely live longer.
Yeah.